Hi, hello. Welcome to another episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. How's it going? How was your week? Mine? Pretty good. A lot of work. Sadly, I'm still broke. So no crazy good food updates for the food corner. I did make a weird meal though this week. I guess I can tell you about that. It was a burger and a brat and fries. That was normal. But then what I did was I made some ramen, and then I did some hot dog action. I like cooked up another hot dog, and then chopped that up, put that in the ramen, and then added a little bit of what is it, like a little bit of lettuce of sorts. I put that in there, and I added some bacon, and I might have did ham and turkey. I might have fully kitted it out with the meats. So yeah, that happened. Other than that, nothing too crazy. For today, it's going to be some Ukraine updates for the most part. Try not to keep you too long, I hope. But we can get started. I got this from The Hill. Snake Island sailors who shouted viral phrase at Russian warship freed in prisoner swap. So this was a little bit of a early. I want to say this happened like the first week, second week. Essentially, there was like a TikTok that surfaced that was the first time I saw it, and I think it bubbled all the way up into news, where it was a viral video of, I think, like a warship, or more or less saying like, hey, we're here, we're taking over this island, and surrender. And they got on a loudspeaker and they were like, let's see, I don't even have to say they were like, I can quote them here. Russian warship, go fuck yourself. So it was big to do, big news, because naturally we're all in the throes of this crazy situation that's transpiring. And I believe it was reported that they were killed. That was the initial post. So that was really kind of like, sad, depressing. But this update, shows that, hey, 11, let's see. It says that they released 11 Russian civilian sailors that they had rescued from a sunken ship near Odessa in exchange for 19 sailors from Snake Island, who were captured in the beginning of the invasion. So that's good news. Let's see what else we got here. I got this from Politico. The U.S. to welcome 100,000 Ukrainian refugees. So essentially, this was, I guess, the plan that's in the works, and it's not exactly going to happen like instantaneously. But essentially, refugees are going to be coming over here, I guess now and then in a delayed program over time. Let's see what it says here from Politico. Yeah, so not all will be admitted through the refugee program or during this fiscal year. A full range of pathways will be utilized, including humanitarian parole and immigrant or non-immigrant visas. So that is a new development. That is a good thing. It's good that people are kind of coming in. I know a lot of people who have fled to Poland. That's been like a big hub for a lot of people coming through. I think they've had about, this might be not 100% correct number, but I want to say around 2 million who have fled through Poland so far, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong there. But, they've been having issues in terms of like, sorting out where people are going to live and things of that nature. Luckily, they have been, very willing and open, as well as some other countries on the border. But it's kind of a tense spot just because naturally it's right on the border of Ukraine and very close to everything going on. Let's see here. What else we got for you? Got this from the BBC. Ukraine war. Ukrainian fight back gains ground west of Kiev. Essentially, this is one I just kind of want to use as a launch point. Not a ton to really talk about, I feel, but at the same time, it is, potential good news. that they are pushing back forces, regaining some small towns. More importantly, making sure that like Kiev is not being overtaken. Still, I think it's been about a month now. Russia has not really claimed any major town. It also seems that maybe there might be a shift too in like where they're going. I think they announced today that there's been like a shift. Like they're going into like their phase 2. I mean, that could kind of mean anything. That could mean that things might be getting worse from here, but it also kind of might mean too, from what they're saying, like, hey, our focus is really on Donbass region, Crimea, those areas. We're making sure that those areas are safe and secure. And I think they also announced too that like in this whole process, we have kind of, lowered the military threat, and therefore we do feel better, maybe. So, I mean, I don't know if that's just more talk from them, if we're just kind of like chasing the tail or not. But, potentially some good news or bad news. I don't know. A lot of this is kind of chalky and really hard to pierce through in terms of saying like, oh, is this, what do I get from this information that I'm hearing? You kind of don't know until maybe even the next week. But, see what else we got. Speaking a little bit about on Poland, Biden also went to visit on a diplomatic trip. Got this from NPR. He's been just more or less for morale and things of that nature. I believe more humanitarian aid has been put up as well, just more or less for Poland to kind of help them in the situation of handling refugees and the whole situation. Let's see here. Last big bit here I got. So like I said, I wasn't going to keep you too long. I'm actually going to hold you a little bit, though, for the smirk break. Ooh. Let's see. This is a little bit older news. I think initially too, it's also from Fox News. But I got it from the New York Post. It kind of like trickled down my little news radar. The Russian model who trashed Putin on social media found dead in suitcase. So this story isn't really necessarily Russia-Ukraine related, but let's see the name of this model. Greta Vadlir. She was 23 years old. She went missing a year ago after her anti-Putin social media rant, but the two events do not appear to be related. It seems that her boyfriend, Dmitry Korowin, who is 23, he confessed to strangling her to death before driving her 300 miles to the Leipzig region and abandoning the body in the boot of a car. So that was pretty wild. I think initially the story was like, oh, this was a Putin political hit. And like there was rumors and all this kind of stuff that like maybe this was all a big thing by the Kremlin. That looks like it's ruled out now. But definitely still a sad story. My condolences to the family, to Vedler. Shit is sad. But some deaths that I guess some might say aren't so sad, even though some might roast me for saying that and say, oh, Isaiah, you should never say that. That's bad. But I did want to close out some about Madeleine Albright. She was born and she died. Bittersweet. I'm gonna say that. I do think it was a win for feminism to have someone reach the heights that she reached. I believe she was Secretary of State for Bill Clinton in the Clinton administration. So very much a girl boss in that way. Very RBG energy there. But she definitely made some pushes within the administration, working with NATO to do things that I personally don't really agree with. I mean, granted, kind of how these kind of things go, I think you guys know I'm not some historian, poli-sci guy. I'm just a guy off the street who decided to start a podcast. But so whenever I hear about these kind of people, I'll usually look them up, or sometimes just the information will kind of trickle down. And, when you find out like, oh, okay, wow, that's sad, that someone like this died. But then you hear some of the details about their career. And, if you were to ask someone saying like, hey, and I mean, you can say like, hey, well, that's kind of how the things are worded. But like, if the actions that you chose to do led to the death of like 500,000 children, would that be okay? And if you're able to just kind of go, sigh, I mean, I think the price is worth it. That's a bit cringe. It's a bit cringe, just to say the least. And I mean, hey, I think there are some people who are oh, well, these political actions that we take in foreign affairs are worth it. They're to secure our safety. Da 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 rah rah rah. I personally feel like it is a very imperialistic thing to do. And it's really shitty and gross. But yeah, so she died, and that's news. So I said it. But we will have more news in the upcoming episode that is less Russia-Ukraine related. I like to keep them separated. But I hope you guys have a good day and a good time from here. I hope this podcast episode leaves you well. If you would like to leave me well, though, I do have a Patreon. That is patreon.com/Isaiah News. If you would like to become a newsie for $5, that money helps the podcast, helps me grow, stay strong. I would love that. If you'd like to reach me, IsaiahNews1@gmail.com. That's a free way to do it. Let's see what else we got. What else we have for you? I got an Instagram. I got a Facebook. I can let you know those in another episode, or you can use the Gmail, or you can get on the Discord that comes with the Patreon and join the community. There's multiple ways. You can see me. You can beat me if you want to. So yeah, I will see you soon for some more good news. Bye-bye. Mwah.